Some years ago, I placed my hope in a home. This house would have 4, 5, 6 bedrooms, a few bathrooms across multiple floors, a room for guests, a long yard with a fire pit and a tree house, a view of the mountains from a balcony porch, a cat or two, maybe a Labrador, maybe a secret passage behind a swiveling bookcase wall, but I could be less picky about that. More than the aesthetics of this future home, it was the people inside that stirred my deepest longings, that sparked my greatest hope. A group of men attracted to men under one roof. Men following Jesus together, the best that we could. Men who could be a support to one another as our 20s and 30s turned to 40s and 50s, turned to new decades upon new decades. Our prolonged singleness and celibacy, perhaps not made easy, but certainly made doable. So very doable. A lifetime of convictions with a way to carry them out. But then, seemingly out of nowhere and yet also coming from a mile away, my hopes were dashed. A hope that once felt as real, as tangible as the coming tide, as the breeze on a mountaintop, the swirl of a sunset. That sky turned black, and beyond whatever faults I could place on other people, friends, brothers, I realize now, with some years of perspective, that I obviously misplaced my hope. My hope was in a household, was in a family, which in and of themselves are not bad things, but Jesus was a secondary thought, for sure. And maybe not even secondary, whatever levels come after that. I think I rationalized it back then by saying, Jesus, provide this for me, this home, this safety net for the next 5 decades, and then I'll fully trust you. I'll believe that you do indeed have longevity in mind for me. Not just survival in this life, but an overabundance of life. An overabundance that would flow out of my life into my friends' and brothers' lives in that house, and into all the guests that would stay with us. Maybe future housemates in waiting. I have this big grand vision of hope on this side of eternity, and for years now I've been back to square one, or square -1, it often feels like. I feel this new tide of anxiety for the next 5 decades that maybe I didn't feel some years ago. And I'm wondering now, maybe obviously, but wondering nonetheless if God simply wants me to bring that anxiety, that certain hopelessness sometimes, all to Him. That He wants to be that ultimate hope in my life. And maybe at some point in these next 5 decades, I will have a home. I guess I'm learning the differentiation between hope and expectation, of specificity, like a certain color in the sky, a certain shape of cloud, versus the promise of sunrise. Henry Nouwen is a personal hero among so many in Your Other Brothers and the greater Side B world. His words tapping into something that feels like a collective shared groan, and also a collective shared smile. I love what he had to say about hope. Nouwen says this: when we live with hope, we do not get tangled up with concerns for how our wishes will be fulfilled. So too, our prayers are not directed toward the gift, but toward the one who gives it. Ultimately, it is not a question of having a wish come true, but of expressing an unlimited faith in the giver of all good things. Hope is based on the premise that the other gives only what is good. Hope includes an openness by which you wait for the promise to come through, even though you never know when, where, or how. this might happen. And so, fellow sparrows, when your hope shines bright in the night sky, and when the luster feels lost in the gray, when hope is tangible, breathable, washing over you and within you, and when expectations leave you high, dry, wondering how long and why, may you hold unswervingly to our ultimate hope, this hope we profess. For he who promised is faithful, faithful as the rising sun, the glowing moon, stars twinkling from eons away and generations past, here and now, even when we cannot see or feel the light here now. Our most sacred hope, Jesus walks with us through valleys of shadow and death. He is here now. And let us remind one another often of this hope we possess, this hope we profess, lighting our path, coursing in our veins, twinkling above and within us. May we reflect his light to those who struggle to believe it, struggle to see it, our brothers and sisters and a searching world alike. Let us step forward today, now, with our ever-present hope, Jesus, hope above all earthly hopes, our ultimate expectation delivered, forever with us, forever resolved, forever ours.